Another Monday, another Kobe. What's up guys, Vinny here with Sneaker Tweaker and welcome back to Mamba Mondays. Today we have the performance review on the Nike Kobe AD Exodus. Now, Exodus isn't an official name, it's still Nike Kobe AD, which is the same as the Kobe AD Mid and the first Kobe AD. Name kind of gets confusing, but that's besides the point. The name Exodus was given to this more so in the sneaker and hooper community and just kind of like stuck with it. You may be wondering why I'm kind of like dressed up all warm and everything, and that's because I'm in Utah and it's cold as, I want to say hell because hell's probably not cold, but it's coldish. Yeah, really cold here. Anyway, as for the shoe, this is the third iteration of Kobe's AD line. They had the, like I said, the original one, then the mid, and then these. And this one is kind of, I want to say, great in some aspects and not so great in some aspects. That's because they've changed a few things around. Some things kind of stayed the same, but a lot of things did change around. As always, let's start it off with the traction. Now, the Nike Kobe AD Exodus, or the Nike Kobe AD, or whatever, the Kobe AD Exodus features a full-length nub multi-directional traction pattern that goes from, like I said, full-length heel to forefoot, and it works amazingly. I've played in these on dusty-ass courts like our old 24-hour fitness gym that was never maintained, to clean courts like our Lifetime gym that we go to now. Granted, it wasn't always clean. They just redid the floors, and now they've been maintaining it a lot better, just because everything is brand new. But this thing was able to bite through dust. It was honestly super grippy, and I really rarely had to wipe when it came to dust collection or anything, and I really didn't have any times where I would slip out. Traction on this was absolutely amazing. You do get a little bit of a squeak out of it as well too, so for those of you that like a squeaky shoe, you do get a decent amount. It's not crazy, but it's also not quiet. So again, those of you that like feedback, it's there. As for durability though, I don't know if this is going to be the best shoe to take outdoors, just because again, it is a nub traction pattern, and nubs are probably, from my experience, the least durable patterns of any of them. They do tend to kind of like wear down and rip off pretty quickly. As for just like overall performance though, the traction on this works pretty great, and if you are playing indoors, it's going to work wonders. I mean, it's an amazing traction pattern. Now, the cushion is where I guess it's a little bit controversial. It features a heel zoom unit, a large volume heel zoom unit, but the whole midsole is a Phylon midsole. Now, it does start off pretty firm, and it does kind of, I guess, break down over time and gets a little softer, but it is a downgrade from, I guess, I don't know, Phylon and Lunarlon I would say are kind of similar, but technically it is a downgrade from Lunarlon. And then you did have better cushioning systems in Kobe's prior, and I think anything that attaches the Kobe name to it, and I guess it is the signature shoe for that year, which this was for that year, that was the Kobe signature shoe, it should have better tech. Granted, they did drop the price down from close to 180 to 200 to 140 with these, but again, I think they could have done better with the cushion tech in this, because you do have shoes like the Zoom Freak 5, which features Cushlon and forefoot zoom, which I think is a better cushioning setup than this, and it's $10 cheaper than you can get it right now. So there are better options that they have available and for cheaper costs. It is a pretty firm cushioning setup. The heel, you do get nice compression, and that does help with impact protection or heel strikes, but the forefoot, midfoot to the forefoot, it's pretty firm. So if you like a low to the ground responsive cushioning setup, these are going to be it. Now, I did enjoy my time as far as playing in these, even with the cushion. Court feel was super nice. I just didn't do a lot of the jumping around and everything that I normally would. I played more on the perimeter. As for the fit, these do fit true to size, and it does fit a little snug right off the bat, so you do have to take some time to break it in. For me, it kind of pressed against my midfoot to my forefoot, and it just kind of took a few games or a full session or two to kind of break that in. Now, one of the biggest things for me is that this is a one booty or single booty upper, and this doesn't necessarily stretch too much. So for me, having like a normal foot, slightly wide foot, it was kind of hard to get in there. I think my high arch also doesn't help, but it was kind of hard to get in there even with the laces loosened up and everything. So keep in mind, it might be a pain in the ass to put on, but once it's on, I mean, you're good to go. It fits, like I said, true to size. Lengthwise, it's going to be great. And like I said, if you are a wide footer, might be a good idea to see if you can try these on maybe. And if you do need to go half a size up, I mean, most Nike shoes fit the same, but again, I don't know how likely it is that you're going to be able to try on Kobe's nowadays without buying them initially from the resale market, and then you can't really return it at that point. I mean, you could resell it, but you can't return it. For the materials and the support, this is kind of where another thing I don't really like too much. You do have a partly mesh upper, but the majority of the upper, I guess from not quite all the way to the midfoot, but like 3/4 of the way or 2/3 of the way on back is all felt. So it does feel pretty cheap. You do have mesh on the toe box and on parts of the tongue, just with help with breathability and everything. It does the job that it's meant to do, but it doesn't feel the best on foot, I would say. Kind of, you can tell it feels cheap. Now you do also have these fuse overlays that go around throughout the shoe, and it just helps with reinforcement. You do also have this TPU heel clip, and that's just there for added support. And then the lockdown and everything is going to be super great on this, especially with, like I said, the single booty upper. Your foot just kind of sucks in and just it stays there, especially once you crank down laces and tie these up. You're good to go. Now you don't really get a shank plate in this, but the original rigidity is still pretty good. Like, I mean, this thing isn't turning or going anywhere, so you should be good to go on that end. And then as far as the base of the shoe, you do have a slight outrigger, and then you do have a pretty wide base in the forefoot. So as far as like tipping over, rolling your ankles, that's not going to be an issue. So that'll definitely help with ankle protection. I mean, I know a lot of people say, does this shoe have ankle protection? Really, no shoe has ankle protection unless you're getting ankle braces. Then that's going to be what's going to help you the most. The other thing with shoes that is actually there that'll help you is if it does have a wide base or an outrigger to help you from rolling over or rolling your ankle, anything like that. So materials and support, they're cheap, but they get the job done. Now, as for the eyelets, it does have these exposed eyelets, which over time they do tend to wear down and could potentially rip off the more you tighten and crank those laces. As for the weight of the Kobe 80 Exodus, and this is for a size 9, they do weigh in at 11.8 ounces, and that's, I would say, on the lighter end on the size 9 shoe. So it's definitely a lighter shoe, and a lot of the materials kind of have to do with that. They did go cheaper on the materials, but also making it lighter. So for those of you that like a lighter shoe, these are going to be it. And for the price, when these released and you were able to get them for retail, they retailed in at $140. Now that's not what the resale price is. I know a lot of people are like, oh, retail is not this. Yes, retail was $140. What you guys are talking about is resale. Resale prices are a lot higher. Those aren't the retail costs. Retail cost on these was $140. And I mean, I guess still would be if they were still selling the shoe. But the resale cost is going to be much higher due to the fact of it being a Kobe and them no longer being in production. Overall, this is a pretty solid shoe, but I would say it's a downgrade from a lot of other Kobe's as far as like materials, cushioning, all of that. But the traction works really great, and the overall experience, I mean, for $140, this kind of goes back to what Kobe's used to be before going up to like those elite models and all of that. So if you are wanting a pretty good performing Kobe for $140, I mean, I guess I can't say $140, but resale cost, these still might be cheaper than like the mainline models from when he was playing. I don't really consider the 80s their mainline models. I mean, I know Nike did whenever they continued it on, but if you are, like I said, wanting a Kobe for a cheaper price, these are probably going to be cheaper than the mainline models from the days he was playing. Now, a lot of people also ask us where we get our basketball socks from. The answer is from Amazon. They come in a pack of 3 that costs just as much as one pair of Nike Elite socks. The ones we have are these 2 muted colors, which the white one and the black one, and they are quarter length. So if you guys like quarter length, they have them available in that, but they also have them in the high top version. Like I said, they come in a pack of 3 that costs just as much as the Nike Elites, and these are pretty much the same thing, but without the Nike branding. They're cushioned, they're ventilated, and they're amazing socks, and they last a long time. If you guys do want a pair, hit the link in our description down below and go grab yourselves a pack. Not a pair, grab yourselves a pack. If you guys have played in any Kobe's, or specifically the Kobe 80 Exodus, let us know your experience down below. If there are any other shoes you guys would like us to review, again, comment down below. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.